Like a lot of people in the industry, and like the industry itself seemingly, I'm of the opinion that the console space is going to change drastically in the next, I don't know, 4 to 5 years. I don't think the next generation of consoles is going to look like the current generation of consoles, and frankly, I don't think the consoles as they exist today, in the form that they are, these closed ecosystems, these closed plastic boxes, I just don't think that kind of product is going to exist in, 5-10 years. And that's not me saying consoles are going to disappear, I just think what a console looks like is going to drastically change. Because when you look at the gaming space, when you look at what's doing well, when you look at what's staggered, when you look at what's not doing well, it's pretty clear that PC gaming is the future. A report came out recently that there's over 900 million active PC gamers in the world, which absolutely destroys how many active console gamers there are in the world. We've also had people very high up in the console industry, people from PlayStation and even Phil Spencer himself of Xbox, say that the console industry is just stagnated. It's not growing. That's not to say it's small, but it's not growing. Meanwhile, PC gaming is healthily growing, and I think this is going to have a major impact on what the next generation of consoles and beyond end up looking like, which is why I want to talk about the new Xbox leaks, because a lot of stuff came out from pretty reliable sources. I sneezed. But some stuff came out about the next generation of Xbox from reliable gaming inside sources. I'm usually very dismissive of gaming inside sources, but at the same time, I really like talking about leaks. I'm thinking about bringing back these leak discussion videos, because I used to do these more frequently, where I just pick up a microphone and ramble about some stuff that's leaked from a source that may or may not be trusted. But I also want to preface this video by saying that the sources here actually are quite trusted. The leaks do seem more legitimate than others, and also, like less than 2 days after these leaks came out, Xbox accidentally leaked a mock-up of a new Xbox UI, and in that Xbox UI was Steam integration, and then they tried to scrub this from the internet once people noticed, which, that's a tad suspicious there. Like, no, that doesn't confirm these leaks are true, but it's certainly an odd thing to happen immediately after these leaks came out. So I want to talk about all the new Xbox console leaks. I'm going to refer to this thing as Xbox Prime like it's fucking Optimus, but that's just what the insiders and the leaks are referring to this as. Xbox Prime could be a code name, could not be. I don't really care. It's just an easy thing to call it instead of the Xbox, like, whatever the fuck they would call it. I thought we were going to go with Xbox 360, then to 720, and then to, I don't know, Xbox 1000, Xbox 900, Xbox 5 million. I'm just calling it the Xbox Prime, okay? And frankly, I think that's a way better name than the last two Xbox consoles had. But I want to talk about these leaks because if these leaks end up being true, and I actually think there's a decent chance they are, if you're a long-time viewer of this channel, or at least like a moderate-time viewer of this channel, a while back, I actually made a video about the next Xbox console and basically how I thought that they should be essentially just small pre-built PCs in an Xbox branded box with an Xbox emulator built in. I don't think consoles are the future. I think console logo branded PCs are the future. And in this video I made a while back, that's what I said I thought Microsoft should do. You know how pre-built PCs usually look something like this? Well, what if they looked like this and then also had a disk drive and it could read all your Xbox game discs and it had like a built-in Xbox emulator so you kept your digital library. That's a banger idea, I think. And interestingly, that's more or less exactly what leaked. And like, Xbox needs a change here. If Xbox is going to stay in the console space, which it seems like they want to, they're gonna have to make a change. They've sold a lot of consoles. I don't like this idea that Xbox is like completely failed. No one bought the Xbox Series. Like, what, 30 million Xbox Series have been sold? Obviously, that's below expectations. Obviously, that's way below how many PS5s have sold, but that's still not an insignificant number. But that being said, Xbox needs to change something for the next generation if they want to be a more one-to-one comparison, a more one-to-one competitor with the PlayStation, at least in terms of hardware. They need to carve out their own niche. They forfeited the traditional console space, the traditional console system to the PlayStation because they wanted to do something different, and that's okay if they want to do something different, but this next generation, they need to be doing something even more different. They need to be leaning into the things that are making them a more unique piece of console hardware than the PlayStation is. The days of consoles selling off of exclusives and exclusives alone standalone, those days are over. The next generation is going to be decided by the consoles themselves, which is what people like me have been saying the console space should be like for years now. I hate the idea that games can be held hostage and used as an excuse to not make your hardware better, to not make your ecosystem better, to not make your online infrastructure better. We don't have to improve the console because we have these exclusive games. But now with the days of exclusive games more or less behind us, Xbox and PlayStation both have to do something unique to make themselves stand out. PlayStation can kind of exist off the fact that, like I said, Xbox has kind of forfeited the traditional console archetype to them, but also, as I said earlier, I don't think the traditional console archetype is going to exist for much longer. So PlayStation's going to have to do something unique as well, but Xbox also needs to be doing something more unique. They need to lean into those things. And as for how they got into that situation, and into the situation they are now with the drastically being outsold by PlayStation, I think there's a few reasons why Xbox got here, because they had such a strong start with the Xbox, the original, with the 360. The downward spiral after the 360 is pretty incredible, and it's due to a lot of reasons. Frankly, none of them have to do with exclusives. I hate when people try to say that Xbox fell off because they lost the exclusives in quality, or like, oh, they don't have exclusives anymore. Like, that's obviously not true for a number of reasons. The Xbox One was getting outsold by the PS4 like 3-1 right out of the gate, right? But if that had to do with exclusives, if exclusives were the main reason for that, that would imply that the PS4 was just killing it with exclusive games right out of the gate, which everyone knows is not true. The PS4 had a great generation for first-party exclusives, but that solid first-party game run didn't start until like 2016, 2017 maybe? So like 3 to 4 years after the console launched. Obviously, exclusives were not the driving factor for 3-1 console sales in the PS4's favor. Because also, that implies that Xbox was just slacking with exclusives out of the gate, which I would argue is not true. The Xbox One's exclusives out of the gate were definitely weak, at least compared to what people were used to from exclusive Xbox games, because this was coming off the heels of the Halo trilogy. This was coming off the heels of the Gears of War trilogy. People expected big things from exclusive games for the new Xbox console, and they just didn't get big things. They got some moderate to good things and a couple really stinky things. Remember fucking Fighter Within? Hoo boy. Who remembers this one? The point I'm making is that if you compare the exclusives of the first few years of the PS4 to the first few years of the Xbone, they were pretty moderately in line with each other, at least when you weigh out quality, frequency, things like that. The difference in quality and frequency of the Xbox One and the PS4's exclusive library, it was not drastic enough for the PS4 to be outselling the Xbone 3-1. The reason why that happened was because the Xbox One as a console was horrendously revealed and horrendously marketed. The average pleb who just wants to walk into the store and buy a game console either already had a game console that they were happy with and didn't want to upgrade to this giant fucking VCR looking thing, or they just wanted a simple game console that they knew was a simple game console, and the PS4 was more appealing to that mindset because the PS4 wasn't trying to sell itself as being a TV, as an all-in-one entertainment station. It wasn't revealed with a built-in camera that you couldn't turn off and also had to be connected to the internet at all times. Why did anyone think this was a good idea? And it really didn't matter that Xbox went back on all those things and took all those things out of the system. The damage had already been done. They revealed their system in a horrible way, while Sony revealed their system by being like, yeah, it's another PlayStation, it plays games, cool. That's why the Xbox downward spiral started. We can talk more about how this downward spiral continued and failed to come back. That's a different conversation. But now that I've been rambling for 12 and a half minutes, holy shit, I haven't even talked about the leaks yet. Okay, let's talk about the leaks now. So the Xbox Prime, which is what we're calling it, the main bullet points are that it's going to be coming out next year, allegedly. It's basically an Xbox PC hybrid. It would basically be like a fully functional gaming PC with access to Steam. Little unclear if there's going to be access to, or at least, easy access to other launchers. I'd imagine there would be, but Steam seems to be the main one people are talking about, which fair enough, Steam is the main PC gaming platform. But basically, it would be a fully functioning PC with a Steam Deck style interface that makes it really easy for you to interact with digital game libraries from multiple sources. And then on top of that, it will also be a functioning Xbox, essentially meaning it would have a built-in Xbox emulator, so you would have all of your digital Xbox games from all the previous Xbox consoles, as well as presumably a disc disk drive that can read the discs of all the other Xbox consoles. And some price predictions that I was seeing was putting it in the $700 to $800 range, which I think could be a problem. That's gonna be kind of a tough pill for people to swallow. But then again, it is a full-size PC, so maybe people would be more willing to pay that much money for what is essentially a pre-built PC with full Xbox history support. That in itself could be an interesting sell. I'm a little iffy on whether or not people would pay $700, $800 for that. But then again, people did pay $700 for the PS5 Pro, so there's just a lot of really gullible people out there. And, you know, to be fair, we don't know what the hardware is going to look like, so it could end up being a $700 to $800 piece of hardware. It could genuinely be that strong. But there's things I want to know about it. I want to know if you can change any of the parts out. I want to know what, like, when we say this is an Xbox PC hybrid, just how much of that hybrid is the PC? Can I change parts? Can I open the thing up? Can I swap parts out? Can I upgrade in the future? But the more I ramble about this, the more I think about this, the more I think this is the right move. No matter what Microsoft does, the PlayStation is going to have a hold over like I said, over the traditional console skeleton, that traditional console ecosystem. And like I've said, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be money to be made in the future if Xbox were to stay in the same lane. But there's more money to be made if they don't stay in that lane. And I think this is a very good way to get out of that lane and start driving in a different one. And frankly, I'm not seeing that much of a downside to this. So let's just say this thing launches. The next Xbox launches as it's described, as it's leaked. Well, presumably there'd be, 15, 20 million people who have the current Xbox who would be willing to upgrade to the next Xbox. Like people who are just Xbox fans, the Xbox faithful. I'd say like 10 to 20 million of those sold. That's a decent amount of adopters for something like this. But then on top of that, you would have all the people who would be much more interested in getting this thing than they would before. A lot of people are not interested in buying an Xbox console. A lot of people aren't interested in buying consoles in general. And that number of console interested people is only going to keep going down over time while the number of PC interested people keeps going up. So not only do you have a pretty decent chunk of adopters just from the Xbox faithful, but now you have a whole new audience of people who want to get into PC gaming, but maybe want to have a more familiar face in front of them when they do. Maybe you have people who want to get into PC gaming, but are kind of intimidated by the idea of making their own, by the idea of buying a pre-built with all these specs that they don't understand. They would rather just get the simple Xbox branded PC. I have a gaming PC that I understand, I don't have to think about it, and also now I have this giant library of Xbox games as well. I could be out of the loop here. I haven't been a console gamer for a long time, but if I were still a console gamer, I think that would be a very appealing product to me. So frankly, I think this Xbox Prime, this new version, if it ends up being true, I'm completely on board with this. I think it's a great idea. There are a lot of ways that it could be messed up. I think if the hardware sucks, if the interface sucks, if there's a lack of good customization, if there's a lack of things that make the PC an appealing buy in this hybrid PC, that could be a problem. It goes back to what I said about how much of the PC hybrid is actually going to be PC. Because if you go too far, you risk losing the console audience. If you make it too much like a PC, you risk losing that console audience you're trying to grab. But also, if you make it too much like a console, you're going to have a lot of people be like, well, why don't I just get a PC then? This is basically just a beefed up Xbox with some more games, and I'm already spending $700 to $800. At that point, I might as well just get an actual PC. There's a sweet spot there that they could operate in, and I think that's a very, very good idea for Microsoft. I really just wanted to ramble about this thing. I think that's the extent of my thoughts. I'll do the Doofus Club now, but also just let me know if you want me to keep doing these rambly videos. I'm happy to do these rambly videos. I'm one of those weirdos who talks to himself when he's home alone, so I might as well just put a microphone in front of myself and read the news and just ramble about things. Okay, it's Doofus Club time. Okay, Celerock, Goopirac, Zombie Fan, Alderoth, 01, EK, Ultimate Jack, Bobby Hunter 2, Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Edge Knight 1789, Raptor 1. My name was Gamer World. Now it's I Rub My Nips to Joe, Wild Gamer 3001, Stag Freighter, MK2396E, Firestorm 2056, The Crocodile in the Moat Got Me, Joe, Help, Henthai, Ex Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Epion 504. If you read this, you gay, Klepto Penguin, Van Shees, Partial Mean 8, GWXSS, Doom Kaiji, Rasp of the Wolf, Evan Code, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zerd, Gaming with Dead People, Bender Fondue, All Games Video, Neon Alec, but backwards, Max Killer V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, Professor Twinkle, Nips, Mick P, Stones, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepard, Riki Spiral, Riki Tiki Tabby, Muskie, Joe's Keyboard Fund. Joe's Keyboard Fund. Kurumi the Steel Angel, Balto's Gate 3 is my favorite anime of all time. Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Byron Von Vaderholm, Cyrus failed the homework, admonish me. Joe forgot to cancel, now I can't afford a motorcycle. True Texkin 940, Sensu Nakage, I'm talking to IE to make another thread about you. Hinoka's #1 Saudi fan, Creed Warrior 23, Maxichev, We Need a Dread Game Chap, I Am the Law, Totally Insane, Vendetta, Audrey, Black Cobra, Non-Voila, Vox Alto, Knight of Cypher, Cloaked Onyx, Ninox, Reborn Me with the fan art, Nick ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray with the fan art, Alex's Chocolate Factory choreographer, Wolf of Midnight, Stick Rider, The Cunt Connoisseur, Pig Venus, Kev Dog 1992, Steve Went Studios, Film Kraken, The Beastums, OM Gaming, Tariq Brown, Tom from Spokane, Hero Culture, Thorn, Skate, Megan X, Everett Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, It's the Catalina freaking Y Mix of Pow Pow, Why Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Nick Donegan, Gob Gobs, and Rogue Winter, 919, Bobby Hinner, Grimsy, Nippa, Hangman for Hire, the artist formerly known as Eldon the Noble, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, The Ian in Action, Floppy Pinkus 97, Michael Musio, Mega Key, Kushka, The Scuffle Skull, Ghost, Yo, Ryu Sagi, The Judge 06, Dress, Grow Femtanga, Raptor Tim, Omnis, Steph 94, fuck. Blue Hook, Joe, I forgot to cancel and I can't pay the ransom. The Return of the King, Upside Down, I got it that time. It didn't throw me off that time. You gotta change it now. Schnorlaxon, waiting on my medical card. Jody Breeze, Schmitty, Werber, Majager, Man Jensen, Max Laurel, Massimo, Demetrius, Hapajou, I don't know. Big Advertisement, Diego Garcia hates Maddie Kibbikins, Boofner, I American Idiot, Rebel Blood 80, Antoine Horton, Joe hates his Discord because he's never active in it. Fuck you. I'm gonna go get it in it right now. The Last of Us is boring. Cope, Joe, Try Crab Champions. Haha, I got it. Oh no, it's Justin, Ren, Roy, Tooney Wayne, Bloodline, Extreme the Wolf 7, Joey Scoops. My name is Mud, Joe Taku, stop burning Joe's chicken. I'm fucking hungry. Bet Joe's script just says ramble in a target time. Wannabe hobo jizz. Harmon Smith's fart clap. I read that as Harmon Smith's fart cup. Bill at 310 Char. Rob C. I am Veg. The Groovy Banana. Kurt Nowns back. The Scrum Master. I own 4 copies of Tangled 2010 on Blu-ray. Yes. Thank you. That's a good one. All right. That's the best one I've had in a while. And I read those pretty quick. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay. Toodles.